Our next speaker is a poet, a lyricist, an author, and a social entrepreneur, Miss Elizabeth Bonker. She is autistic and non-verbal, but her belief that education and communication are the keys to empowering non-speakers to live a meaningful life led her to start her organization named as Communication for All, which uh, trains non-speakers to effectively type and communicate with others. So please put your heart and soul together, and with a big round of applause, please welcome Miss.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Bonker, Executive Director of Communication for All, a charitable organization with the mission to ensure all non-speakers with autism have access to communication and education. Thank you for inviting me to share my story with you at this groundbreaking event. The remarkable book, The Invisible Majority, by C.K. Mina and V.R. Feroce, has inspired my talk today. Approximately 40% of autistics are non-speakers who have been invisible, even in the autism community. You are hearing a computer speak my words because I am affected by autism and type to communicate. The same dysfunction of my motor system that prevents me from tying my shoes or buttoning a shirt without assistance prevents me from writing with a pen or moving my mouth to speak to you. Please don't think that I haven't tried to button my shirt or speak. I've had thousands of hours of occupational and speech therapy, but there is a problem with my neuromotor system. Just a few clarifications before we get started. When I say non-speaking, I include people who have minimal speech and those who may repeat words and phrases. And when I say typing, I include pointing to letters on a letterboard and pressing them on a keyboard. Please come with me on a journey into my world, and I will share with you how I gained access to communication and education, and the work we are doing at Communication for All to remove the obstacles that deny non-speakers these human rights. Millions of adults and children are depending on us to end the profound isolation they experience every day. You may have heard about my mission in my 2022 valedictorian commencement address from Rollins College. For me, I have a dream. Yes, just like Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream. Communication for all. There are 31 million non-speakers with autism in the world who are locked in a silent cage. My life will be dedicated to relieving them from suffering in silence, and to giving them voices to choose their own way. That speech had 4 billion media impressions worldwide, and it propelled our mission for communication equality onto a global stage. We have a growing list of respected partners that have joined us in our mission, including IIS, the International Association for Spelling as Communication. IIS's founder, Elizabeth Vossler, is a university professor and speech therapist. Here she explains the evolution of our understanding of non-speaking autism.
Traditionally looking at it, we had a cognitive approach first, that there was an intellectual disability in people with autism. Then it's sort of switched into, well, there's a behavioral component to it, and there's avoidance or lack of motivation or lack of caring to do well, so we have to appeal at a behavioral level. But it's not an issue of I don't understand, it's not an issue of I don't want to, it's an issue of I can't make my body do it.
Keep going. Regardless, you're working hard.
So that's why a lot of these guys are not given credit for being as smart as they are.
I know you're working hard. I know you're working hard. I know you're just F-R-I-E-N and D. Because my body is not my friend.
Elizabeth Vossler often ends her talks with the observation that language is 100% cognitive and speech is 100% motor. We may repeat words, but they do not reflect what is going on in our minds. Communication for All is working to break down the structural barriers that keep non-speakers without a means to communicate. We are reaching non-speakers in families and schools around the world. But before we go there, I would like you to better understand what it feels like to live in a silent cage. I did speak. I was born perfectly healthy. I met all my developmental milestones and said words like ball and dog. Then at 15 months, all of my words were suddenly taken from me, and I started to scream and bang my head on the floor. My parents took me to Yale Medical School and the doctors gave them the diagnosis, but no hope for the future. I started an intensive biomedical and educational program, but I still had no way of expressing even my most basic needs. At times, my frustration boiled over into self-injury. Yes, I started to hit myself, not a popular subject, but I want to dispel the myth that equates self-injury with intellectual disability. I struck myself because I was a thinking and feeling person locked in a silent cage. For more than a decade, I have tried to change the way the world sees non-speaking autism. First, writing poetry for my book in 2011, and more recently writing song lyrics for an album. I believe music opens the heart so the head will listen. In this song, I try to capture what it felt like before I could communicate.
Step inside my silent cage. Can't you see I'm on a stage? The world says I can't think. It's pushed me to the brink. They say I'm lost and dumb. The stairs say I'm less than scum. No voice, no choice, no thoughts, no brain. They think that I'm insane. Set me free. Please set me free. Free from anger and frustration. Free from boredom's cruel tick. Free from lowered expectations. Free from futures I can't pick. Free from dejection and rejection. Free from fits of smashing rage. Free from pity and despair. Free from my silent cage.
My life in a silent cage finally ended when I was 5 years old. We found a courageous Indian woman, named Soma Mukhopadhyay, who had taught her own non-speaking son to communicate by pointing to letters. With communication, I was able to enter my local school, and public television did a story about my journey.
Because she can communicate, Elizabeth, accompanied by Terry, also attends a mainstream public school where she excels, especially in math.
Find the greatest common factor of 18 and 24. Good girl. You know the answer,
Her
huh?
teachers marvel at her performance and persistence.
She taught me about, patience, and I can't even begin to explain to you that I probably learned more from her than I have from anybody in life so far.
Being in mainstream school was not easy, but these are the teachers who welcomed me with open arms. I have something personal I would like to share with you today. I am not special. Of course, my parents think I'm special, but please don't think my ability to type is special. Non-speakers around the world are showing us how capable they are. And to back up my claim, I would like to introduce you to some others who type to communicate. Meet Dan. He learned to type when he was 12 years old, and recently the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art made a video about Dan's breakthrough.
Once I learned to spell at age 12, learning and new discoveries poured in.
What was Dan desperate to tell his parents when he first learned to type?
Get me an education.
Dan graduated with honors from Harvard University Extension School. Meet Anshul. He started to type at 19. Last May, he graduated from an all-typer high school and plans to go to college. What does Anshul want you to know?
Non-speaking does not equal non-thinking.
And now, one more student. Alex was 25 years old when he learned to type. Do you know what he is eager to tell you?
It's never too late.
So many lives changed with communication. I would like to share with you what Communication for All is doing to give all non-speakers the opportunity to learn to type. Our global initiative is C4A Academy. On December 1st, Communication for All will launch C4A Academy, a program of internet-based instructional videos to teach typing to non-speakers anywhere, free of charge. In every case, it would be preferable to have a live expert providing the coaching and training, but we know that is not financially and logistically possible today. The Academy is focused on families without access to private instruction. We are starting to work with local partners, including the All-Inclusive Foundation, to reach families in India using C4A Academy. I believe we are all here at this conference as a powerful evolution of the civil rights and disability rights movements. With our work, we stand on the shoulders of giants like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Helen Keller, and Judy Heumann. Judy, my cherished friend and mentor, passed away unexpectedly in March. Judy was known as the mother of disability rights for her 5 decades of leadership. I know Judy was looking forward to being here with us today, and I am honored to carry our work forward. The blind have Braille and the deaf have sign language. Now is the time for non-speakers to have typing. I am excited to be hosting a screening of the award-winning documentary, Spellers, tomorrow at 10:30 at Prestige Falcon Towers. This film shows how spelling and typing dramatically changes lives. Here is the trailer.
Yeah. What if they've been wrong about every single one of them? What if they're all walking around without the ability to speak, but brilliant?
I am one of the lucky few non-speaking autistics who have been taught to type. That one critical intervention unlocked my mind from its silent cage, enabling me to communicate and to be educated. Our movement for communication equality is at a tipping point. There are now a growing number of typers worldwide, including dozens of college graduates. I am calling on all of you today that as you welcome non-speakers into your incredible community, you will help make them visible and help them get the communication and education they deserve. And what a more equitable and inclusive world it will be when non-speakers can fully participate in it. I would like to close our time together with a clip from the title track of our album, I Am in Here. Please join me and more than 60 non-speakers as we celebrate our ability to communicate.